The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Another one that you might be able to clarify that I've always wondered about because I just heard about it is Adelaide, I think it was '07, around that time. So after the record that you did with Hyjak and Torcha, Damo and Simplex, I think, produced the album. Unclassified or Classified, I can't remember the exact name. But in that album, Damo's a punchline rapper and he had lots of punches and battle lines. And I can't remember the line, but one of them was directed at Hyjak and Torcha. And then I heard that because of that line, Hyjak and Torcha made it so that Damo couldn't go to Sydney for years after that. Do you know anything about that?
Right. So here's what happened with that. I know nothing about that. What happened is after Drastic Measures came, that's when I went to Melbourne, remember? So yeah, I actually don't even know I didn't even know that happened on their record. I knew nothing about it. Different world for me for that. I just didn't. So yeah, that's news to me. Wow. Okay.
So there's a new one for you?
There's a new one for. I never knew that. I fled to Melbourne because I got over. Okay, so here's what happened with Jack and Torcha and me at the time. Oh boy, here we go. To me, they were partying too hard. They were just getting complacent, right? They were one of the strongest MCs I have ever seen in this country, bar none. And you put them up with your Trems and you put them up with your Deltas. Like, these were heavy, heavy MCs. Incredible, all right? Otherwise, why would I work with them? And I think the difference is they admitted it. Years after, I saw an interview like maybe 10 years ago or something like that. They actually admitted it. And they're like, finally, you said it. And you understood that I was trying, after Drastic Measures finished, I was like, okay, boys, what's next? Let's try something different. Let's get happening, you know what I mean? Yeah, no. Okay, and then I'd go and do nightclubs because that was my bread and butter. They'd come, they fucked the whole club for me. Jack would still be from the bar. I was banned from clubs. I couldn't work anymore because of these motherfuckers. I had to leave. I mean, I didn't leave because of those two. Don't give them too much fucking credit. I just got sick of Sydney because it was just really difficult for me to keep going, right? So they just started going hard, partying hard. When you party hard, then forget you're not working. This is work. You know what I mean? You're not elevating your skills. You're not doing your next thing. We're not making new music together. And plus, they'll go to other people to make music with, and they didn't even tell me. I was like, okay, that's interesting. So when I went to Melbourne, they acted shocked. I'm like, what's to be so shocked about? Of course I'm going to leave and you know, and do my thing because I wanted to take this stuff really, really serious. The people in Melbourne were taking it serious. You know what I mean? So that was, I knew nothing of what was going on there. So it was a shame.
So then when you moved to Melbourne and you say that they were shocked, did that cause a real, division between your relationship?
We never spoke for a long time. Yeah, didn't speak at all. There was a division between a lot of other DJs as well. I was like, what would you go there for? I'm like, so I can eat. Like, yeah, like I remember when I came back to Sydney for a show with Pegs, actually. There was a lot of hate to all the DJs towards me. Oh, here we go, the Melbourne motherfucker, here we go. Going to Melbourne now, huh? I'm like, I've only met you like 4 times to chill out. And it started getting rough, hey? And I'm like, well, I don't need this in my life right now. So I said, who are you, little man? Like, I said, oh, and he started paying me out like, oh, oh yeah, you're the DJ that plays Ashanti at a record at a club, I'm like, I'm a DJ, dude. Like, he's like, well, I'm talking about your hardcore hip hop DJ, and I said to him like, this is the stuff I'd come across all the time. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
So I'd say to him, what's really sad is that you can play the rawest hip hop record out, and then that's fantastic. But I can come and waste you with an Ashanti record. That's the difference between you and me, and that's the shit I have to put up with all the time. And just stupid childlike conversations about this rivalry thing between Melbourne and Sydney. I really didn't care for it. Adelaide, to me, I have a lot of friends in all states. You know what I mean? Still do to this day. I maybe don't connect with them, but I respect them a lot. So I think it's just one of those things that you've got to do. It's just it's a tribal thing, right? Your state. Look at our footy. It's the same thing. It's tribal. Everything's tribal here. So it's nothing personal. It's just people just want to one up each other and just be the best. It's sport. It's sport. That's all it is. So yeah.
The lesson. 7. Oh yeah.